absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. The divine mind knows, the divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power, salute, salute, salute. Peace and power, what's going on? Hey, Tisha. What's up? What's up? You sure is waving. Can I get some purple hearts? Big Will, salute. What up? Vitamin Vision TV, what up? Yes. Divine order. Black Queen. Come on, yo. Friend of a pen, what up, what up? What up, James? What up? Almighty, peace, 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 peace. All is well. What up? What up, Herbs? Ta-ta. There you go, Tisha. Thank you. What up, what up? Unpopular opinions, what's going on? Okay. Thank you for pushing the bill. Terry, hey, hey. Thank you for pushing the last night's bill. So far, we're at 13,000. 13,000, a little bit over 1,000 views on Outspoken on Doggy Diamonds TV, sponsored by Doggy Diamonds. Hey, brown girl, what up? So again, as always, continue to share, continue to comment, continue to like. And in saying that, y'all know how I am. Y'all know how I am when it comes to reading the comments, going back and listening to the playback, and people still are not getting it. Beautiful spirit. People are still not getting it. And since I come from a therapeutic space, since I come from a complete space, and most of my moderators are professionals or students of the craft, you know, there's no other way to break this down other than from a clinician's standpoint. Damn the street, damn the values of other groups who have dominated the way we govern ourselves, the way we live, right? And damn a matter of opinion. We have to deal with the facts. And the facts are that for any person, male or female, sex, the act, early on in their development, too early, disrupts the process. Do you understand? Salute, salute. Thanks for tapping in at work. Do you understand? It disrupts the natural process, especially if it's initiated by someone much older and really, really slick or brutal in the preying on, because that's the only way you can describe it. You're preying, right, on someone who is not either physically able to handle and ward you off or mentally astute in, right, pushing back those advances. You dig? That's what is at the core of this discussion. So when you have, right, just like those pedophiles, these real brutal ones, these real slick ones, these very manipulative individuals who use everything in their arsenal to isolate, trap, and instill fear in their victims. We have to make absolutely certain that that mind state is not one which is allowed to fester and have no consequence. This is what we've done. Now, we will not ever excuse the fact or ignore the fact that it is in our music, that it is in theater, that it is in Hollywood, that it is in literature. That's not an excuse and that's not ignored. What I'm saying is that as a responsible adult, these messages should never, ever sway you in the decision where you will say, it is what it is. When we say that, it is what it is, then that means it is what it is about everything. About everything that we've lived through or still are living under. If that's the case, let's shrug our shoulders at chattel slavery. Oh well, because it happened and it was allowed to happen. Oh well, so shrug your shoulders to that and stop asking for reparations. Because it happened, it was happening, it was legit, it was legal. You shrug your shoulders at that and accept it and move on. Because something is going on does not absolve anyone's responsibility for the ill effects, whether you're doing it, whether you're witnessing it, or whether you have cognizance of it. It is wrong. It is wrong. Why is it wrong? Right? Why is it wrong? Now, there was a comment, and I appreciated the comment, and I addressed it under the bill yesterday. The comment was, and I'm paraphrasing, since we are animals, and all animals procreate at the given time that they have the ability to, why shouldn't we? That's the gist of the comment. And again, respectfully, he answered, well, he asked and wanted an answer. And respectfully, I gave him the answer. The answer is, there may have been a time where we moved as such. The thing that separates us from the animals, things that separate us from those beasts on four legs, the thing that separates us from the birds that fly, the reptiles that crawl, right? Sea life that swims, is that those entities move on instinct. Us, being the superior thinking beings, know through time and error, through science and technology, that instinctual behavior will cause us more harm than good. So because someone is scientifically, biologically able to procreate, we have seen that because how we live in social orders and groupings, that it is not beneficial to our survival to prey on our young. You understand that? Because a woman may have the biological makeup, right, to go through the reproductive cycle, does not mean that she is mentally, spiritually able to function in a manner that she will need to make sure that she's able to live. Understand that? Because she's able to procreate doesn't mean she has the other tools, the other skill sets to feed herself, to clothe herself, to feed the child, to clothe the child. So therefore, us being higher level thinkers know that it's absolutely false for an adult to make an attempt to gratify themselves, to procreate, or to harm, sexually harm the young in our social order. Do you understand that? That is what separates us from the animals. So if you believe that you are allowed to or should be allowed to sexualize younger people, you are coming from a savage, animalistic mentality, which is why the majority of us look down on it. That's it. There should be no confusion at all. Because a man, because a woman reaches a certain age and the laws that govern us say it's okay for them to drive, say it's okay for them to drink, say it's okay for them to smoke, say it's okay for them to have a firearm, does not mean that it is right and exact. Especially when the majority of the laws and policies are not written, analyzed, and through trial and error, proven to be 1,000%. Do you understand? Do you understand? Now, of course, when we're dealing with men, I see someone continuously asking, where are the men? Where are the fathers? And salute to everybody who's joined us at this time. Salute to all my moderators, Kelly Mills, Brown Girl, definitely. Salute to T. V Gibbs, salute. We coming up. We doing what we do, right? The numbers is ticking down. Getting that badge for that year of sobriety. Let's do what we do, all right? Now, when we are in a space that we find ourselves in, which is a space of not owning ourselves, removed from our values and morals and way of living, we become individuals who inherit the morals, the values, the laws, the policies of our oppressors, and only inherit it through a partial glance, because they will put forth only what they want you to know and what they want you to believe. So when you inherit behaviors, a sight, right? Gaze through a tainted eye. Your vision is tainted because you're really not knowing the backdrop of why these policies are put in play. You become something other than yourself. And when you are other than yourself, you're only, right, going to meet your demise, your destruction. Whether it happens quickly or whether it happens over centuries. The more you inherit someone else's belief system, the quicker or the more effectively your demise is going to be. So because we've been living under it, doesn't mean that we have to adopt and adhere to it. Our men, specifically, have been deprived of the very basic tool for survival, which is to name and label yourself, to know the self and be able to function as an entity, as I always say, to live out your full potential to be greater every day. So if our potential is to be our self, Lord and Master over all, and you don't own those tools, if you don't know those tools, if you don't move and practice in a manner of which that you can control what's going on, anybody that comes up under you, is going to suffer from your misdirection. So when you view young children in a manner of which you are sexually turned on, something is not right here. Whether you're male, whether you're female. Because as you grow healthy, if you are growing in a healthy space, there is no looking back. The healthy space should always be to elevate, which is looking forward and up. You are not to look back and down in order to excel. You don't go from trigonometry to addition. That's backwards. You go from addition to multiplication to division to algebra to trig, and so on and so on. So you don't go from being in your 20s and 30s to looking to bed somebody who's 16. No. When you're 16 and you're finding that energy, that connection with another 16-year-old, that's a normal process. You're going and moving at a good pace. You're going in this direction. So at the point of which you become 22, 23, and you're looking back, you're backwards. You're backwards. What are you doing? What are you doing? There's just certain chemistry, certain makeup that we have, that we move through when we are an adult. That's just what it is. We go through these stages. Right? Salute, Captain Vera. Thank you. God created black. Salute, salute. More than welcome into the Cash App. Remember, YouTube is funny style. Like I said, I don't know how they rely on this. Kenny Mac, DC, what up? You know, I don't know how they rely on this. My work is always more important than this right here. And as you can see, I can't get 10 minutes. That's not happening. We cause explosions. We blowing up minds. So, nah. But again, we have a specific makeup, right? When we go from an infant to a toddler, to a preteen, through adolescence, through puberty and adolescence, we have a certain scent. We are built a certain way. That attraction grows as we grow. Which is why I say 40 plus can't beat them. Them women just smell different, feel different, taste different. That's just what it is. If you ain't attracted to that, what the hell's the matter with you? Salute, Montez. You understand? I can't figure that out. 40 plus is where it's at. You understand? So how can a man find anything once he's lived his life, his experiences, attractive about someone he should not even be able to hold a conversation with right here? Which means if you're 40 and you're talking to someone that's 20 or 18 because they're quote unquote legal, what is the conversation like? What is the intellectual stimulation for you, old ass man? Unless you didn't grow up here. Which means, again, you're retarded in your growth. So if you're retarded up here in your growth, your faculties down here are being excited when you get around prepubescent children or young teens. That means you're sick. mentally. Physically, there's an issue. At some point, you have been traumatized. Therefore, you are not able to function in a setting with your peers. There should be nothing that attracts you to something going backwards. What are we doing? What are we doing? Look, what are we doing? The behavior cannot be excused either way. Either way. Come on. Why did Stella get her groove back? And we could throw a whole lot of different scenarios in it, or we could stick to what was written. But when we speak on that, we're speaking on women who have been neglected by their peer group. This is what we're speaking on. So in order to be fulfilled in that space, she had to move backwards. But was he able to fulfill her totally? Most times not. Why? Because socially, he doesn't have the skill set. Now, we throw a lot of different things in the air, right? LeBron James, straight out of high school, millions of dollars. Right there, 18, 19. Does that make him a man? At that age? Should a woman in her 30s or 40s be looking at him? Why is he or anyone in that scenario deemed an appetite? Not because of who he is, but because of what they put in his custody. Millions of dollars. So that means he's able to change your social situation. But that doesn't mean that he has the skills to nurture a 35-year-old woman, to listen to take care of, emotionally and spiritually. But because we are living in this capitalist society, money has become the standard by which we allow these people to be preyed upon. You know how many people just this year I've seen sexualized? It's the young girl name on Blackish, the 16, she just turned 16. Dressing her as a woman, putting her in these grown-up settings, and now they got her dancing with Kelly Rowland. You know how many people sexualized Simone Biles? And with all due respect to all the gymnasts who was abused and things of that nature, but these are little women. but they placed them on TV in sexual attire. And serve them up. Serve them up. Thing is, when it comes to the act of sex, because that's what we're dealing with. Because the statement was, yeah, it's all good when they're in college, ain't nobody asking for no ID or nothing. And that's not, it's okay to party and talk and dance. No, he was talking about knocking them down. So again, the act of sex, if it is not viewed in a specific manner, it is always a rape, right? Because you now you're dealing with consent at a certain age. What happens when you're on the street and you see a 3-card Molly table, or somebody hits you with a different card, right? The fake jewelry in the bag card. Why do they get charged for a crime? Because there's deception involved in it to get you out of what you value. A confidence game. So how is it not a rape? How is it not a rape when you are conning a child out of consent of their most valued possession? Because when you're in your 20s and your 30s and you're already out and moving around and earning an income and getting the tools that classify you as an adult, the young person believing that they have the ability to fit in that role is getting duped. There is no way that they understand or don't understand what the game is in order to get them to consent. See, because consent has become, I hate to say it, like them Harlem dudes, hustling dudes. Shorty, you want them 5411s? I'll go get you a pair of 5411s. Want your hair done? Get your hair done and all that. Just keep it on low. Let me get in your panties. Now, she believing that them 5411s is something that she needs to survive, or a want that's going to put her in a better position somewhere. Right? But he knows not. He knows it's not. So it's a confidence. It's a con game. You're hustling these children. And because of that hustle, and because of the trauma, because of the fear, because of the pain, or because of the emotional letdown after the fact, it stunts their growth. And that could go for anybody. That could go from young children, or that can go for people who have been living in poverty or in the working class. and deal with somebody who's been in a position of wealth their entire life. You can get conned out of it. And at that very moment, you lose all trust. And in some spaces, you lose your self-confidence. You lose your ability to see yourself. And that harm takes decades to work through. Should no young girl be in the presence of no older man. Period. Period. The basic act of sex without responsibility to and for the other person is a crime. That's the essence of rape. Because you had no intent to take care of the person, to love the person, to make sure that a person is all right. But you're too busy caught up in the brutality and through the physicality of it. You think this Me Too shit is about? Think it's about the brutality? And some of them was brutal with it. But it's the trickery. It's the conning. It's the putting them in a position where they had to make that call. So we're going to make sure that the Me Too movement keep it moving and get all the support, but our babies are not supported? Come on, man. How do you sound? So no, emphatically now, Cypher. No, Cypher. It's manipulation at its finest. Manipulation. It's a get over. And when it happens, as it has happened for generations after generations after generations, and accepted and tolerated, we have a whole lot of work that needs to be done. A whole lot of work that needs to be done. Which is why we don't trust each other right now. Because at our most vulnerable point, when you have your pants down, somebody has destroyed it. Destroyed your ability to be vulnerable in the presence of our own. That shit rips you up for generations. So fuck academics and anybody who thinks like him. And I guarantee you, I'll catch you around any of mine. Your ass gonna wish. You're gonna wish you listen to this build in a good space. And don't cut your bullshit out. I ain't gonna play with you. Straight up. I don't play with my dudes. You look stupid at a youngin' in the street. People know they don't play with me around. They know I don't bullshit. You know, how long we been in the street? How long we been comrades? How long? I'll blow your mind off right there, right there where you stand. Look at an underage girl when you with around me. So again, like I said, I don't know. We ain't talking about this 10 minutes. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You dig? So, I got things to do. I have things to do. Apologize. It's 40 minutes, long enough. But again, as I try to articulate, this is not guaranteed that come on, I'm self-employed. I gotta do what I gotta do. And time is ticking, but I love my people. I'm making an attempt to go again sometime today. I told you I haven't forgotten. I gotta keep the thug love portion moving. You dig? We get back into that. Maybe I could do that after I have a couple of sessions. You dig? Salute to all my moderators. Y'all know how we do. Salute to all the regulars. You dig? Y'all know how we do. As always, don't believe in me, believe in my belief in you. Let's grow the tribe. Let's grow the tribe. All right? It's the only way it's going to make sense. If I'm here, seated, you want me here, gotta make it worth it. Have to. Right? Time. Salute.